Raji! So good to see you.
It fills me with such light to see you, Molly.
Roger, have you been coming here without me?
Have I? Welcome back, everyone. Namaste.
Namaste, Raji Baba.
Oh, looks like we have a new face. What's your name?
Me? Oh, hell no! He's taking over the whole place! Oh, good. At least I can take this class taught by Dalton Galloway.
Oh, Haley, does Dalton Galloway sound like a real person to you? Grow up, it's me.
Yeah, I think that's a very good introduction point for my video. My video is basically going to be about the crazy names of certain quote-unquote people that you'll see in society. So certain people you'll see in society will have these very ridiculous names, just very ridiculous, and it will make you think like what's going on. You know, the names will either be ridiculous or the names will coincide with their interests to a degree that it's like, what are the chances of that? And the answer is the chances of that is very, very small because, you know, these people, they're not really people. Now, in the video, you saw Roger. Roger is a non-human entity, and he's very good at impersonating people. But not only is he good at impersonating people, he can do it and almost no one will know that it's a non-human pretending to be human. They all think he's human, but he really isn't. And also, there's a message there. And also, this alien, Roger, he will have... he will give his clones or his personalities very strange names. And you'll hear them and you'll think, well, what were the parents smoking when they named their kid this? Well, really, that person didn't have any real human parents who named him. That person was named by a soulless being. And that person is themselves are soulless, okay? So when you have a lot of these people running around in society with these strange names and you're wondering why would their parents name them this, you know, chances are their parents were really just soulless fallen angels and demons. You know, some people call them reptilians, but really they're fallen angels and demons pretending to be human. And because of that, you know, they just like to make jokes with the names that they give their quote-unquote kids or whatever. You know, and, you know, yeah, if you ever run across a guy named Mike Hunt, like for real, that guy probably isn't actually a real person. I mean, what parent would name their kid Mike Hunt, like, these days? It just doesn't happen. But it does happen, but I don't think it happens to real human beings. So now, let's see some examples of this kind of phenomenon. And these are just kind of, it's a quick video, you know. So anyway, you have this Joker right here. His name is Rasun Delay, right? And this guy, well, I mean, just take a look at him. Like, just look at that thing. Does that look like look at the skin on that thing. Does that look like a real black man to you? Come on now. That looks like a reptilian, okay? I mean, it looks like a crocodile. I mean, literally, just look at it. It looks like a crocodile, okay? You're telling me that this is a human? No real black man has skin that just looks that pale, but yet is black at the same time. You go to Facebook or to Instagram, you will see these black people with black skin, but it still looks pale. Well, they're not real black people. They're like, clones, okay? They're not real black humans. They're soulless. Now, this soulless Joker, he has a lot of the pyramids and stuff, and he's into, he tries to teach black people to be into like Egyptology and crap like that. And of course, he's gonna cut off the top cornerstone of these pyramids. Why? Because that's what the Illuminati, that's what they're all about, the stone that the builder refused. And who is the stone that the builder refused? Well, he is Christ. So, of course, he's going to cut off the top of the pyramid because that's how it is on the dollar bill. And it symbolizes them rejecting the chief cornerstone, which is Christ. But anyway, this Joker, this Elder Rasan Delay, he's a clone. I mean, look at the name. Ra Sun, son of Ra, okay? He's the son of Ra, and he's into this Egypt stuff, and, he's a freaking crocodile. He's a Nile crocodile, okay? So, that's a pretty easy one. Now let's go to another one. I'm sure at least some of you guys have heard of this one of the Hebrew Israelite thing. And there's this one, that's so bullshit. Well, anyway, there's this one Hebrew Israelite so-called, preacher who calls himself General Yohana. And let's type it in. Oh, shit. I'm sorry. General Yohana. Here we go. Now anyway, this General Yohana guy, he is supposed to be this like Hebrew Israelite preacher, and let's see him in his little garb next to his bodyguards or whatever. Well, this is the infamous General Yohana, and he's supposed to be this Israelite preacher. He's part of an Israelite camp called called ISUPK, and he's a fake. He's a fraud. He's a clone. Okay, now these Hebrew Israelite false preachers, I'm going to have to do a video on them. I'm going to really get into these guys because it's time. They've been given, decades without really being called out for, not being humans. They talk all this crap about white people or whatever, and they're not humans. So, what's up with that? Like, they'll be seeming to argue with some like white preacher or whatever, but the reality of it is, look at this other guy. The reality of it is, both of them are not human, right? Typically, they'll be arguing. Oh man, I'm gonna save this picture. Look how feminine that looks. You see how he's pouting like a girl. See how feminine that is? That's a bad picture to take. It probably comes from a still from a video, but still. So anyway, this General Yohana guy, I'm gonna do a video. Really, this picture kind of shows it too. This little fat guy pretending to be so religious and holy, and he's just so fat, telling people it's okay to take the the chip, and Yeah, that's pretty much is what it is. Although the group that makes these kind of cartoons is another group called GMS, and GMS is just I mean, they're a trip. They're ridiculous. But yeah, this General Yohana guy, I'm gonna do a really in-depth video proving he's a clone. But basically, this guy is a fallen angel in a clone body. Now, how do I know this? Well, because this guy, his real name is John Lightborn. Now, think about that, John Lightborn. What kind of human being is named John Lightborn? Okay, no real human being gets named John Lightborn. All right. The only people whose names are John Lightborn are people who are fallen angels in clone bodies. Now, why is that? Well, that's the case because, I mean, you think about a fallen angel. Did the fallen angel have their start, on heaven or on earth? In heaven. And in heaven, they were made as like light, plasma, fire, okay? That's what they were made of in heaven. So when they have clone bodies on earth, they might give themselves a name that reflects that. And so this fallen angel in a clone body pretending to be this Hebrew Israelite pastor or whatever, this General Yohana, whose real name is John Lightborn, he's a clone. And again, his name, Lightborn, really reflects that. I might play a little bit of this video. It's not my video. I'm not trying to really plagiarize the guy. Here's the video. Here's the channel. The word is the light. And he's linking to this Southern Poverty Law Center article. And it's basically part 1, John Lightborn, aka General Yohana, which he spells iguana, exposed. And that's kind of fitting because, maybe these fallen angels were cursed with reptilian form or ugliness or whatever after they fell from heaven. And so that's what the whole reptilian thing is. But anyway, let's see what it says.
And today, as you can see on the screen, this is more info exposing this guy, General Yohana. Alright? Now, this article was done by the Southern Poverty Law Center back in 2008, as you can see right here, fall 2008. And brother had just sent me this. I'll put it done by these guys, Southern Poverty Law Center and General Yohana. Alright, so we're going to read just to prove this is an interview, so these are definitely his words. I'm going to start here. The title is God and the General. Leader discusses black supremacist group. And that's the other thing. When you watch these guys' videos and you read this article, right, which I'll post it up so you can, read it on your own. These guys are on some black militant shit, alright? This isn't about a black thing, alright? This is about an Israelite thing. The whole 12 tribes, not just one, alright? You're no different. This guy's no different from them NCII or whatever those guys are down in Atlanta, in Georgia, alright? This isn't a Judah only thing, alright? This is all the 12 tribes, okay? So let's read this. It says, this June's, and again, this is from a few years ago. This is 2008, alright? It says here, this June's issue of Esquire magazine included a feature headline.
I'm going to have to stop him right there. As far as I can tell, he's right in the sense that, it's not necessarily a black power thing or anything like that. But I do believe all of the 12 tribes were black. That whole 12 tribe chart is a bunch of nonsense. So I'm going to stop him right there. But anyway, let's just keep going.
Why white supremacists support Barack Obama. Despite the title, it included a brief interview with General Yohana, who is neither an Obama supporter, nor a white supremacist. Quite the opposite. Johanna, whose real name is John Lightborn, is a leader.
You see how he laughed?
John Lightborn. Wait a minute. According to Isaiah 8:20, it says, if you preach not according to this word, there's no light in you. So this definitely was not Omen Nomen, this guy's name. His name is John Lightborn. That's the great General Johanna. Alright?
You see how the guy laughed? You know, this guy himself, I don't know much about him. Maybe he's a light-born fallen angel himself, I don't know. But, I mean, yeah, you see how he laughed? He laughed because he knew just from the name alone the guy was a fake, right? And, you know, I think that's enough. Let's see. Next guy. Next guy is Bobby Jindal. You guys probably remember him. You know, he was a, you know, he was like a candidate for, you know, many people thought he would run for president and that he'd be successful, you know, blah, 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 you know, Republican out of Louisiana, governor, all that kind of stuff, right? Well, anyway, this guy, his name is Jindal, Bobby Jindal. But let's break that down now, shall we? So this guy is a clone. And, you know, you heard me say that about Johanna. Well, I'm going to break this guy down a little bit better. Alright. So this guy is a clone. How can I tell that? Because God made man male and female. He didn't make them male or female in the same body. I'm sorry. Reverse that. I'm sorry. God made man male or female. He didn't make them male and female in the same body. He made them male or female. There are two distinct sexes, okay? If you see a person and they are clearly male and masculine with no like female traits, they're probably a real person. If you see a person and they seem to be both male and female, they are not a real person. They are a clone, essentially. A fallen angel or a demon in a clone body. Okay? So how do I know this guy is a clone? Well, let's take a look at him. So, right here. Look at his eyes. Dead giveaway. His eyes are too close together. A male, a true male, will have eyes that are far apart. They will have eyes that seem like they're going far away from each other. This guy does not have an eye. He does not have eyes that seem like they're going away from each other. His eyes are very close together. They're like pinched together, okay? That's the trait of a woman, of a female, better yet. That's not the trait of an actual male, alright? So, now let's look at it. The dude, a woman has a curved hairline. A man has a straight hairline. Their hairline is very well defined. It's not like an oval. A woman's hairline is like an oval. Now, the dude is kind of slick. He puts his hair in front of his hairline, so we can't really tell that his hairline is messed up and not like a man. But let's look at the sides here. See how not very well defined the sides are on both sides? That's because really, if you could pull this hair back, what you would see is the guy has a you know, curved hairline of a female. He doesn't have the straight edged hairline of a male. That's clearly defined. His hairline is not very well defined and it has curvature. You see that? It kind of would come right here. It kind of be right there. Kind of be right there. But there are not any straight edges in his hairline. A real man has straight edges in his hairline. Let's see. Some other traits. So when you look at him, he appears to have a brow ridge like a real male should, but it's really not that much of a brow ridge. It's really not. It's a very small brow ridge. Very, very small. You know, with a little bit of hormones, you can make a clone have something like that probably. It's not very big brow ridge, alright? But also, a man's brow ridge should be totally, like, basically totally straight across. This brow ridge, it's arching, okay? It comes like right here, and then it comes right there. This arching brow ridge is what happens when you take a small female face and you give it like a lot of testosterone and crap. It'll develop a brow ridge, but it won't be a straight brow ridge. It will be like a curved brow ridge, okay? And maybe that's the result of, you know, you have a scrunched together female face and you're trying to stretch out a brow ridge in this crunched together face, so it's not going to come out straight. It's going to come out kind of curvy. But that's just kind of my own thoughts. Look at his chin. A man's chin is more like a U or like a box. But his chin is like a V. See, look at his look at his jawline. A man's chin should drop more down. Oh, let me zoom out. Sorry. A man's chin should drop more down like that. But this guy's chin is just, it's like a V. But, I mean his jawline. But a V jawline is a woman's jawline. A man's jawline needs to be more like a box or more like a U, okay? That's a man's jawline. Look how small his neck is. Look how small that neck is. That's a female. So what am I saying? He portrays himself as a man, but really, atomically, on an atomical level, his facial features and body features are that of a female. So he's really transgendered. But these transgender people, they're not actual real humans. Real humans are not transgender. Real humans are male or female, okay? Let's see, look here. Throwing up the 666 right there. Another picture. Throwing up the 666 right there. I mean, the guy is a satanic clone, okay? And what does that bring me to? He's a satanic clone, so what is his name? Bobby Jindal. Now, the Muslims, they call evil spirits like demons and fallen angels, they call them jinns. And this guy, he's basically, he's a clone, which is a doll. It's like a soulless vessel that has to be operated by a fallen angel or demon, which is a jinn. So Bobby Jinn Doll, you know, fallen angel doll, okay? He's a soulless vessel that's operated by an evil spirit. Alright? Hugh Jackman. Hugh Jackman is another guy who is a... let me take a look. Now, Hugh Jackman is another guy who is a fallen angel clone. Okay? He's not a real person. He is a... he's a, you know, he's a clone or whatever. And this guy also, you can see the same traits here too. This guy, look at his head. Doesn't his head look too small for his body? His body is like, seems to be huge, but his head is so small because he's really a female, okay? He's a female who works out a lot and does a lot of roids, but he's a female. You know, it almost looks like he has a straight hairline, but really he doesn't. It comes back right here. It goes out. It's not really that straight edge that you would expect out of a real man. It almost gives that appearance, but it ain't really there. Okay, it ain't really there. His eyes are close together, small, thin nose, like a woman. He doesn't really have an Adam's apple. His shoulders, they're sloping. They're very, very sloping. A real man's shoulders should be more straight across. The guy is a fallen angel. He's a female, okay? A female that portrays itself as a man. So he's going to have characteristics that are a mixed bag. Like, he's going to look like a man, kind of, but he's going to have atomically female characteristics. Let's see. And I mean, look at his wife. Look at his wife. Come on now. Oh my goodness gracious. When you're a, you know, I'm sure a lot of women would find this guy attractive or whatever. But when you're a rich, you know, man that a lot of women would probably find attractive, and you marry just like a freaking beast like that, I mean, this isn't even getting on any clone shit. Like, people know that you're gay, right? Because, I mean, look at his wife. You're this Hollywood actor, and, you know, you can marry, like, you know, quote-unquote any woman you want, and you choose this beast of a wife. Like, first of all, look how blocky her head is. Her head is more blocky and wide than his head, but he's supposed to be the man, so why is her head, like, look at the jawlines. Her jawline comes out and sticks out more. Her jaws stick out more than his jaws, which come in. Why is that the case? Well, that's because she's a male and he is a female. A female portraying itself as a man and a male portraying itself as a female. But again, ignoring that, like, again, why would you be a multi-millionaire and marry a wife like that? Because you're queer. And that's just, I mean, it just, I'm not making fun of the guy, it just is what it is. But anyway, you know, he plays Wolverine, and, you know, he's very, you know, looks very buff or whatever, you know, he works out, and so, what's his name? Hugh Jackman, like, huge jacked man, okay? That's what he is, or what they want him to be, a huge jacked man. But, again, look at his head compared to his upper body. You can kind of tell it's a little bit too small, can't you? It's not quite the size that it should be for a man that big. Let's see here. It's not too bad. But, yeah. Again, sloping shoulders, and just, when you look at the body and the head, the head is just too small, because it's a female skull on a very jacked up body that almost appears to be male, but it's still a female skull. So that's why the skull just looks too small for a man that's this big, okay? And, you know, that's enough on him. You know, huge jacked man. You know, this video's taking a little bit longer than I figured. Anyway, let's do this Gale King. Well, you know what? Let me zoom in. Gale King, I mean, you know this woman. Oprah's best bud, or whatever, right? Her name is Gale King, but, you according to a lot of people, she was gay for Oprah. And that's kind of the thing right there. Her name is Gayle King, and she's gay for Oprah. And also, she's a man, too. Remember when we talked about Hugh Jackman and his close together eyes? Well, look at the eyes of this woman, quote unquote. They're far apart. She has far apart eyes, and Hugh Jackman has close together eyes. What's up with that? It's because she's a male and Hugh Jackman is a female. Okay? But yeah, Gayle King, well, she's allegedly gay with Oprah, who some would call a queen. So that's why her name is Gayle King. Not much to say there. Marie Curie, another clone, another stern-faced woman, but she's not really a woman, she's a man. Let me see here. Which ones really show the man? Okay, yeah, this will work. Look at that. That's a little boy. I mean, that's a little boy. Like, if you didn't know... Okay, let's take the hair out, alright? We'll crop the hair out, and then you tell me. There. The hair is gone. Now you tell me what that looks like. With the hair gone away, you tell me what this looks like. This is a boy. You would think that's a bald-headed boy, okay? But when you add in the hair, it's, oh, well, the hair is like that, so it has to be a little girl or whatever. It has to be a woman. But you would think this is a boy if it wasn't for that hair, okay? They used to have to make these clones a little more convincing back in the day. So she's not like, a blatant tranny, but she's still a tranny. Like, again, like I showed you, you would think that was a boy. Look at the little thin lips. She doesn't have thin lips because she's white. She has thin lips because she's a boy. If she was an actual white woman, female woman, her lips would still be more plump than that. But look at the jaws. Remember what I told you? A male has like a U jawline. Look at her jawline. It's like a U. It should be like a V, like Hugh Jackman's. Or, Bobby Jindal. His jawline was like a V, but her jawline is like a U. Follow the pen? Like a U. That's a male type jawline, okay? But her name, she's a chemist, and her name is Marie Curie, right? Marie Curie, what is the deal with that? Well, Marie Curie is basically Mercury, right? Mercury is a element on the elemental table. And this, famous female scientist was a, scientist who messed with, like, various chemicals and all that crap, right? Well, one, she's really a male, and two, she's a clone. Her name is Marie Curie because she was meant to be a scientist who messed with chemicals, and that's why her name is basically Mercury. Marie Curie, Mercury. I mean, it's not very complicated. And that's about it. Yeah, that's about it. So basically, whenever you see someone in society, or maybe they're a, local or national famous person or whatever, and they have a weird name, just know they have that weird name for a reason. They were given that weird name for a reason. They're really a clone. So, whenever you see all these people with these weird names, be wary of them. And just think, like, if you had, a little baby, with some other person, would you call them this ridiculous name? And if the answer is no, they're probably not human. Well, anyway, that's my video, guys. Hope you liked it. Bye.